Okay, hi everyone, this is Ben from Furucombo. Great to see you again at our second Protocolink workshop. So today I will be talking about the lending SDK. So last time, ZD showed us how Protocolink can change the way developers use DeFi protocols in their projects. So with Protocolink, you can build secure and powerful services more easily and without compromising on the security issue when developing new smart contracts, especially when we're trying to interact with some external protocols. Spending all the time figuring out the problem with the audit firms can be very exhausted. So let us do that part, and you can concentrate on building some cool stuff. So you must be curious that I know that Protocolink can be powerful, but what can actually be built by using Protocolink? And yeah, that's a great point, and that's what we're going to start with today. This is lending dashboard, and yeah, that's a product we built after building Furucombo. As you know, that Furucombo began as a tool to combine different DeFi services, such as Aave, Compound, and some AMMs like Uniswap, Curve, and also some swapping aggregators like 1inch, Paraswap. And operations on lending protocols are very popular for our users. And we noticed that many users want to do more advanced stuff with their lending activities. We think that's great because Furucombo is all about letting you to do things that might be difficult to do on native platforms. So we created the lending dashboard. So this is our website, and you can see lending dashboard. You can manage your position with our product, and you can even can type in metallic.eth, and we can take a peek at what kind of position does Metallic own. Currently, it seems okay. He has some position on Aave V2, and you can also connect your own wallet. Oh. Okay. So after I connect my wallet, and I can see the positions of my account across different protocols on Aave V2, V3, Compound V3, and you can also do some some actions like deposit, withdrawal, or more advanced operation like do leverage on Aave or Radiant, and we also supported Morpho Blue very recently. Yeah, and this is a kind of simple product, but not so simple to being developed, and it gives you the information that you need to make good choices with your lending. Yeah. So although that the dashboard makes user easier to do what they want to do, but making this dashboard wasn't easy, to be honest. Yeah, and you can imagine that every DeFi protocol is different. Although they have the same terms like deposit, but it can be quite different from in the back. So it can be very tricky to for developers to work with, especially when we want to integrate all kinds of protocols and at the same time. And that's where Protocolinks come here to help. So for this part, I think ZD has talked a lot in the previous episode, so I'll just keep it simple. The Protocolink SDK let developers to make complex DeFi apps more easily. So for example, when we work on Aave V2, we don't need to take care about what kind of function name we should call, or what are the previous steps that we should take. We can just say, I need to deposit into Aave V2. Then the Protocolink SDK will build all the logic for you. So the Protocolink let developers to make complex DeFi apps more easily. It means that they don't have to worry about the small details of each protocol, like dealing with how their tokens are designed, or how the allowance works, or when to delegate the power to a third party for certain actions. And this is what Protocolink SDK solves. Developers don't need to handle all these operations by themselves, but still there are some things are hard to do when we are talking about some advanced lending protocols actions, like swapping collaterals or managing long and short positions in different kind of lending protocols. These operations involve more complicated calculations and actions. So that's why we built another tool. It's called the Lending SDK. The Lending SDK works on top of the Protocolink SDK. You can say that the Protocolink makes the logics works by creating more transactions and bundle up them together. And Lending SDK tells Protocolink that what will be the logics. So using Protocolink in our lending dashboard, or you can say Lending SDK in our lending dashboard, we cut down the coding work for the front end by 77.3%. This number is from our front end developer. So it might not be a very accurate way to explain how much work is being simplified, but just for reference. Yeah. So in this workshop, I'll talk about how the Lending SDK makes building a DeFi app more easy. Okay, so before we explore the Lending SDK, I would like to dive a little bit deeper into those lending operations in order to make sure that we all have the same idea of of how it works. And there are several operations that I'll call them basic operations. And each protocol might have its own rules, like how to manage the market risk or the relationship between collateral and loans. But we generally see four main actions, which is supply, withdraw, borrow, and repay. So supply and withdrawal are about putting in and taking out assets from the lending protocol. And these assets can be used either as collateral or just as liquidity for other users to borrow. And it depends on the protocol's design. And borrow and repay, on the other hand, are about taking out a loan and paying it back. So usually if someone else, or we can say a third party, wants to withdraw or borrow for someone's behalf, they will need extra permission. And this is a very common design, since we need to, or we can say the service need to bundle up operations for the user. So each lending protocols have different ways to manage this. And take this as example, this is RAV3. And RAV3, when we want to borrow for a user, we need to have some kind of operations that's called approved delegation. And this is RAV3's design, but it has different designs on other protocols. So the Protocolink SDK simplifies this part for the developers. It bundles up all the necessary logics and to carry out just the purpose, or we can say carry out these operations. And beyond these basic operations, there are still other operations that we've noticed at Furucombo. And those operations are also supported on our lending dashboard in order to let users manage their position, like leverage, deleverage, collateral swap, and debt swap. Okay, so leverage increases the exposure, which can lead to like going long or short on an asset. And the leverage does the opposite way, so it decreases the exposure. And for the collateral swap and debt swap, it lets users to change the underlying assets in their position without closing the entire position. Yeah. And this might be for better APYs or to avoid future risk on some certain assets on whatever the user thinks. So all these operations can be done step by step, like manually. But however, using certain protocols and with precise calculations can make these be done more efficiently. And this is where the lending SDK steps in and to help developers and users to do that. Okay, so we can say that, yeah, finally we comes into the lending SDK. The lending SDK is designed to help developers in two key areas. The first one is building advanced operation. And the second one is to aggregate the account information. And these areas are often the most trickiest part when working across different protocols. So what does the lending SDK look like? On the center of the, you can see on the center for the lending SDK is the adapter, and the adapter is what makes things go like easier to be used. And the adapter pulls together accounts information and in their interactions across a variety of supported protocols. So I will try to break down what it does. For the first part is the portfolio. So the portfolio represents users' account information, mainly for the account user information, but also some market information. And by feeding the account and market identity, like market ID, and the portfolio will give you detailed insights like APY or current loan-to-value ratios, borrowing details, or a lot of other information. You can also see that you can get the health rate or when is the position will be liquidated. Yeah, and these informations are very useful when users trying to decide what kind of operation they are going to take. And those advanced market parameters is not always being presented very clearly through different kind of protocols on their smart contracts. So this is what we found out that is very essential for developers to use when they're developing a product that assists user to use lending functions. And another part is for like simplifying the operations. Sorry. For the basic operation that I just mentioned, like supply, withdraw, borrow, and repay, the lending SDK enables like token zapping. You can see here, and this means that the user has the freedom to choose what kind of token they prefer to do these operations. For example, like when we are repaying a loan that's in USDC, but user only got USDT or even ETH, but you need to go to like a swapping service and swap it into the USDC, and this is quite troublesome, and it might not be taken at the same time when you are repaying. So Zap Repay, you can just simply say, I want to repay my USDC debt, but I can only provide my USDT. And then the lending SDK will bundle up the swapping that need to be done and then repay your debt in USDC. So it makes everything more easier. And this is for the basic operations. And there are also some advanced operations, like you can see here, like collateral swap, debt swap, deleverage, and leverage long, leverage short. And these advanced operations are also streamlined to manage positions for user very effectively. So how do you work with lending SDK? I will show a very simple workflow. So I created a project and I already installed some packages in Protocolink, including the lending SDK. So when we are trying to use lending SDK, first we need to set up our adapter. We need to configure the adapter with the lending protocol and the swapper we are going to use. So first, I'll need to import lending from okay. So what I'm doing is to set up the adapter's protocol. Okay, so we can choose a series of protocols that we want to work with, like Aave, V2, V3, or Morpho Blue, and we need to register it first. So we choose Aave V3 here, and so our adapter will be able to work with Aave V3 right now. And because I just mentioned that when using these advanced operations, we might still need to use some swapping protocols. So this is also the same way to register the swapper. Okay, for the swapper, let's see what kind of swapper we support right now. Oh, currently we support OpenOcean V2 and PeerSwap V5, so I'll just simply choose one as the lending swapper. Okay, so now we have defined several protocol and swapper for our adapter. Okay. So the second step will be to initialize the adapter. So it will be adapter and yeah, and for this part we need to define the blockchain we are working on. So for this part we'll decide a chain ID. So we can import common this package which has some chain ID to be used. You can say that we'll get the chain ID for Arbitrum. Okay, so this is the chain ID, and I can put it into my adapter. Okay, so yeah, we are good to go. We have the adapter, and then we can get the portfolio. So it's like adapter dot get portfolio. And for getting the portfolio, you need to give the account address and also the protocol ID and also the market ID. There are many markets on for Aave V3, so you need to say the market is on Arbitrum or something. Yeah. So this is the way that we can work with the lending SDK. And also, if you want to, I'll just put it here. But if you want to do some advanced operations, you can see all the explanation, like when you want to do collateral swap, what kind of input you need to put in. If you want to do leverage loan, what will be the token being loaned and what will be the token being loaned against. These will be all the setups you can directly get in the SDK. So I will show another example for here's the lending SDK part, and you can see in the test. This is our end-to-end test, so you can see all kinds of test cases that demonstrate different operations. If we take a look at the leverage loan, so we can see after you get set up the adapter and you get the portfolio, and you can use the adapter to start working on like leverage loan. And for a leverage loan, it will need you to we can say that every action need you to provide source token, source amount, and destination token, and it has different meanings. For leverage loan, the source token will be the token that you are going to loan, and the desk token will be the token to be leveraged against. Okay, so for most of the cases, like if you want to loan ETH, you can say that your source token is Ether, and the desk token might be some stable coin, stable token like USDC, and the source amount will be the amount of source token you want to leverage with. Okay, so if you want to see some cases how to use these advanced operations, you can take a look in the transactions part. And we also have the document, so you can directly just read the document and knows everything you need. So after you get the leverage loan information, and you can choose whether to do the estimate router data. This part is for the Protocolink part. And after you get all the approvals and the data you need, you can start to send the transactions. Yeah, cool. Okay, so this will be mostly about how to use those advanced operations. It's not only just like what you see is you can use adapter.leverage loan to simplify all the process, all the transaction you need to build. And also the method utilizes a flash loan. So normally when we want to do a leverage, it will involve a costly loop. Like you need to supply and borrow and swap to the token, swap to the collateral token, and then supply again and borrow again. It will be very costly. For our mechanism, we utilize a flash loan, so you can achieve your target in one step, and it saves a lot on your gas cost. So it's not just like a single function, but it's also being simplified on the background. So yeah, you can find all the necessary details in our documentations, and including the examples I just showed you guys. Yeah. And another thing is the portfolio is not is really more than just a parameter in your operation. It's a very useful tool to let user understand their position and to showcase the impact of the operation that being done. So definitely do more experiment on this part. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm sharing today. And yeah, we believe that the key to strengthen the entire DeFi ecosystem is about building and innovating. And this is why we built Protocolink. The Protocolink is here to ease the concern around like smart contract security and the complexity of dealing with various protocols. I believe it really frees developers to focus on their own creative ideas and bring more exciting new projects to life. And yeah, then that's why we built the Landing SDK. And the Landing SDK collaboration with the Landing dashboard is a really good example of how we can help developers to write clean and efficient code. And currently, the Landing SDK supports these Landing protocol. Yeah, Morpho is also a very is the latest production in production product that we just announced. And for the swapper, we currently support Paraswap v5 and OpenOcean v2. So yeah, that's what we're currently supports. We're constantly working on it to add more chains and more landing protocols to provide more options for our developers to develop great products. And we're open to your ideas. If you have any suggestion of what kind of advanced operations can be implemented, or thoughts on how we can refine our current functions, please don't hesitate to let us know. And your input is valuable, and we continue to evolve and improve our tools for the developer community. Okay, so thanks a lot for your time and attention today. Let's keep building and innovate together. Hope to see you next time. Bye.